Why, thank you for coming. I shall be asking you questions that will help us understand if you will fill the last genetic engineer's void. Let us begin. In your opinion, what would you say genetic engineering is?
Well, I know for a fact that genetic engineering is when genes are produced, destroyed, or manipulated in order to prevent or follow through with a certain gene's traits.
Dude, this is like the most comfiest couch I've ever been on, man. Okay, what was the question?
In your opinion, what would you say genetic engineering is?
Genetic engineering is like when you take a gene from somewhere else and you take the original gene and you just take that original gene, you stuff the new gene in there, and then it's like engineered, man. You know what I mean?
Genetic engineering could bring about a great amount of transformations by the manipulation of DNA, which is the code to how cells function.
Would you say that genetic engineering is safe?
Well, where I come from, the future, technology has progressed in such vast amounts that genetic engineering has become a much safer procedure. However, in the present, it is often hit and miss with most current methods used.
Due to the smallness of these genes, it is very difficult to implant them and remove them. It is also very difficult to figure out where you intend to place them or remove them.
Until society can grasp a common knowledge of genetic engineering, you can never hope to succeed to the future's standards.
Would you say that some forms of genetic engineering are more acceptable than others?
Because of genetic engineering, we've been able to increase the yield of most plants. Pretty much because we are able to let them live in unstable conditions. Plus, we're able to enhance their nutritional value. You're happy with your food? I'm happy with my money. Everyone wins! Genetic engineering in humans can be used to modify the genotypes, which means that we are picking out the most desirable characteristics of the human.
Alright, be straight up with me. What is the Catholic Church's position on this?
We have 5 main points for this topic. 1. We do not accept technology that puts human life in danger. Only technology that protects life and guards it. 2. The children of God have free will. We should be able to defend and protect life. 3. We should not kill life to help science. We should protect life, whatever the outcome. 4. We should not accept anything that does not rely on ethics. And lastly, 5. Faith opens doors. Those who believe in God's will, God will support them in a way medicine cannot.
Would you say that genetic engineering is playing God?
Okay, well, I believe that we were all created in God's image, and to alter this image is working against what God had intended for us to be. Only God should be the one who plays God.
Who will be able to have access to genetic therapy?
If you desire gene therapy, it may be expensive, but if you crave it, then you will find the money. You will find a way. Currently, we are giving away free clinical trials, yet once gene therapy becomes an avid thing in our society, almost near perfection, it will price around $100,000.
Like, I don't know if I'd be able to afford it, man, but I found this quarter on the sidewalk the other day, and it's pretty shiny.
How would gene therapy relate to eugenics?
Well, there's no doubt about the fact that parents want to see their children excel in academics and sports. But is this concept of designer babies really the answer to their aspirations? Doesn't this resemble Adolf Hitler's attempts at creating a superior race? Whoa!
What do you believe the future holds in this area?
You will see 2 different paths for genetic engineering. One aimed at solving problems farmers need to overcome, the other aimed at creating sophisticated products that will receive high profit margin in the market.
What are the ethical implications of genetic engineering?
Is genetic engineering ethical? Let me tell you something. You're taking someone and something, and you're lowering them here. But with genetic engineering, you are bringing them up. You are raising them. Tell me what's unethical about that.
Practical implications of genetic engineering on humans, that is, genetic therapy, in order to allow an individual to avoid obtaining life-threatening illnesses, is a very touchy subject. A rationalist may argue that we do not know enough about genetic engineering and the side effects may be too drastic and the entire procedure may be too risky. However, it still comes down to the question of whether it is up to us to determine what people should look like in the future and whether or not we are playing God.
See, back in the 60s, man, I used to tie an onion around my belt, which was the style at the time. But onions, see, this is the important thing to remember. Onions cost a nickel, but nickels used to have bees on there. Give me 5 bees for a quarter, we used to say. Anyway, we couldn't have those red onions because of the war, so we had to have big yellow ones.
Genetic engineering comes down to this fact that by doing this, we are hampering diversity among people. If we allow ourselves to do this, then we will eventually come down to a population where everyone will share the same traits. Which leaves us with this one question. Should we, of the present, be the one to tell what the people of the future should be like?
Alright, you two. We picked you up from the street, but we need your opinion. Let's go.
Well, my view on genetic engineering is that it goes so far. Like, if you have crops and food, and if it makes it more nutritional, it makes it so people can get access to it easier, then why not? Because people are hungry out there. But to go so far as to use it on humans, well, that's kind of just superficial. That's just kind of, I find that a little wrong if it's changing them for their own gain, but if it's changing them for illnesses and diseases, then I think that would be acceptable because we're doing that already with medication. We're trying to help people. So that's my opinion.
My opinion on genetic engineering is that we should be able to use it on food and crops and that kind of thing in order to increase the food supply and spread it globally. However, I think it could be a risk because we don't know enough about genetic engineering to see the side effects that it might cause on this kind of food. I also disagree with using it on for human purposes unless the individual has a chance of suffering from a life-threatening illness. I completely disagree with just making humans better in a physical sense.
Alright then, I appreciate all the things that went down today. I'll let you guys know what I decide. Have a snazzy day.
Pause.
And there's like some sort of super mutant gene. Lastly, 5. Faith opens doors. Just for coffee.
Scotty, what are you doing?
To remove them or implant some.
What's my role in this movie anyhow?
By allowing ourselves, to allow ourselves.
Okay, and it's not hampering width, it's just hampering the diversity.
Okay. Genetic engineering is the hampering. Genetic engineering is the hampering of the diversity?
Genetic engineering is hampering the diversity of people.
Genetic engineering is the hampering the diversity of people. If we allow ourselves, what?
Sorry, I was laughing.
What I want.